What is going on, guys? SteelTwins coming back at you with a second mock draft for the 2022 NFL offseason.
Another pre-free agency edition, so keep in mind all these are based on something the Steelers have not done yet. Hopefully, we get a lot of answers in the coming weeks. But let's get into the mock, man. With the 17th pick, very similar to the last one we did because we've been saying it for months, and we're going to keep saying it. Offensive tackle is a serious need. Left tackle primarily. And have a good feeling we can land one of the top three at 17. With the 17th pick, the Pittsburgh Steelers select Paris Johnson, offensive tackle out of the Ohio State. In my opinion, the best offensive tackle in this draft class. And there is a world he could not be there at 17. There's a world all three top offensive tackles could not be there at 17. But we truly do not know. So I'm going to go with Paris Johnson on this one because, like I say, he's one of the best. He is, in my opinion, the best offensive tackle in this entire draft class. He is what the Steelers need, man. He is the franchise left tackle the Steelers absolutely need for 15 years plus. He is an immediate upgrade. This dude is just an athlete at offensive tackle, man.
Yes, he has his size, his strength, his movement. For a big guy, he moves very well. He's a hell of a pass protector, a very, very good run blocker. He's exactly what you want in a left tackle, everything that you need in a franchise left tackle. Left tackle has been a serious position that Steelers have not been able to fill the void at since Alejandro Villanueva left the Steelers. Dan Moore has tried his part in it, but he has not been able to fill those shoes.
And the Steelers just need to strike at offensive tackle early at a top pick. And I feel like this year is one of the best years they can do it because it's a need and we have a good spot to do it. And we can land one of the top three, but we're going to go Paris Johnson on this one, man. There couldn't be a Steelers mock without Paris Johnson in it, and he has to be in this one, man. Paris Johnson at 17, man. If he's there, he's a no-brainer. You run to that podium with his name on the card, for sure, Paris Johnson. Now, moving on to the 32nd pick, thanks to the Bears and Chase Claypool. With the 32nd pick, the Pittsburgh Steelers select Trenton Simpson, linebacker, Clemson. We need a linebacker. We do. Linebacker is a serious position the Steelers must focus on. It's a huge void. We only have Jack, and we have, as of now, unproven depth. We have high hopes for a Mark Robinson and guys like that, but there's only so much you can ask for from a 7th-round guy. There really is. And it's just, we have Jack and no one else to start beside him. We already know Bush is gone. Spillane might be back, but he's not an every down guy.
Yeah.
So we need, more specifically, we need an athlete at linebacker. Ever since Sagiers went down, we've had very little athletes. And the athletes we've had haven't really worked out. No. Devin Bush. Every other linebacker we've had has been so stiff and slow and limited athletically. You don't get that with Trent Simpson, man. You get the sideline speed. You get the athleticism. You get the run-stopping ability. You get the blitzing ability, which I would love to see what Aaron Curry, our new inside linebacker coach, could bring to the defense. He could bring that blitz aspect, and that is one aspect Simpson strides in, is blitzing.
Yeah.
I'd like to see him more in coverage and see where he can strike there. He's still raw in certain aspects.
Yeah, he's not the most pure linebacker in the class.
Definitely not.
I don't think a lot of these linebackers are the most pure linebackers, but they have a lot of upside. One of them is Trenton Simpson. Yeah. He has that versatility. He has that speed. He has that explosiveness that we have not had since Ryan Shazier.
Yeah, we just need an athlete, and that's what this guy brings, man. Trenton Simpson, man, definitely one of my most liked linebackers. And there's a lot that we really like day two. We're going to go Simpson in this one. With the 49th pick, the Pittsburgh Steelers select Siaki Ika, defensive tackle, Baylor. You knew there was going to be a Steelers mock with this guy involved. You want the next big snack, you draft this guy. You want the next Casey Hampton, you draft Siaki Ika. Dude is a mammoth.
The guy is a big boy.
He is a gap filler, but he can also get to the quarterback. His pass rush skills are very underrated. Now, there are some concerns if he's only a 2-down guy and not really a 3-down guy, and seeing the Steelers scheme. Drafting a defensive tackle very high might not be a wise pick because they don't play their interior defensive tackles very often in their scheme.
Yeah.
But we still need someone to fill that gap. We need someone to stop the run. We need an anchor there. And Ika is that guy, not just because of his size.
But his play on the field is crazy. It's outstanding. For a guy of his size to move that quick, be an effective pass rusher if need be, but at the same time to be a dynamic run stuffer to which the Steelers need to fill that hole. They need to fix that. you stop the run. Your defense is one of the best.
Yes. And he may not be a 2-down guy immediately, but in the future, he very well could be a 3-down guy.
Yeah, he could have some limitations early on. That could be a problem, but those can definitely, in my opinion, could be fixed.
Yeah.
With Carl Dunbar as our defensive line coach
Yeah.
still.
Working beside Hayward and company. Ika, man, he's another big guy that is very athletic for his size. And
I think he's got a lot of upside.
very much so, man. Definitely one of our favorites in terms of interior defensive line. And very much like linebacker, very stacked. You can get anyone day 2. Anyone you could grab day 2. And seeing how Waddle has done, Andy Waddle specifically has done for the Eagles and their trenches over the years, he's going to strike at some point in the draft with that position. And you can get anyone anywhere day 2. So getting someone at 49, man, honestly, defensive tackle just seems to be the prime selection there. So we'll see. But we really like Ika. Another position that's very stacked and you can get anywhere day 2. And it's definitely a position the Steelers need to focus on because it is a serious concern, especially when you look at it from a roster aspect and the uncertainty and the amount of free agents we're having and the guys that could be cut, is cornerback. We need a cornerback. We do. So we select Julius Brents, defensive back out of Kansas State with the 80th pick. Imagine a guy, 6'4", 200 plus, that can play outside, but moves and plays like a safety. This guy, man, really surprises me. And I think it'd be a day 2 mid-round gem, very similar to a Tariq Woolen of Seattle last year.
That's exactly who he reminds me of, a tall, speedy guy that has dynamic playing ability at the cornerback position.
Just very sticky, very physical. He's very good in the run defense. He plays like a safety, man, but he can play outside corner, which is what we need, obviously.
Yeah.
Say we do resign Sutton, then you can put him in the slot, put this guy opposite of Wallace. Maybe not day 1, but definitely has that aspect to him, man. Yeah. The guy can be an impact player in a very short amount of time.
And I think Brents is one of those guys that his stock is slowly but surely rising a little bit. And that's where we could potentially get him with the 80th pick. I think he could be a gem.
And seeing how he tests in the combine and the pro days coming up, I think his stock's going to rise even more. And getting him at 80 might be a little bit more of a stretch or I suppose, wishful thinking. But, man, I mean, very much like linebacker, defensive tackle, and cornerback is stacked, can get anyone solid day 2. And I think those 3 positions is something the Steelers can strike with day 2, which is why we go these positions very, very, very early. So
yeah,
it's something the Steelers must focus on. It fixes up the lack of depth and impact we've had at that position for a number of years. And it's just so stacked we can go anywhere with these positions day 2 and still get a gem.
Yeah, still get a solid starter.
Now, another position the Steelers need to focus on defensively in terms of depth is definitely edge. We have no edge guys.
No, and that showcased more evident last year when T.J. Watt went down. We traded for Malik Reed, but he might as well not even been on the field. And Jameer Jones, we brought him back, but he was a 4th stringer.
We have nobody to fill the gap. We resigned Quincy Roche, who a lot of us were upset that we cut in the first place. He still could have that potential there, but even then, we still need depth. We still need competition. We still need a guy to play that role for sure. And we go Zach Harrison, edge, out of Ohio State in the 4th round.
So we double dip at the Ohio State.
And Steelers love to do that. They've done it in the past. They've done it for a number of years. So I could see that for sure. Last year, they did not attend the Ohio State Pro Day for quarterback reasons.
Which is pretty crazy because the Steelers love Ohio State Buckeyes.
They never miss that. Now, I doubt they're going to miss the Ohio State Pro Day 2 straight years. I doubt it, especially if they're looking at left tackle primarily or offensive tackle primarily early on into the offseason. If they're looking at offensive linemen like Mike Tomlin is really zoned in the Senior Bowl we've seen weeks ago.
Yeah.
So they're definitely going to look at Ohio State for sure since they missed it last year, and I can see them double dipping and getting a guy like Harrison is someone we need at the edge position, someone trustworthy, someone with tenacity, man, someone that can come in and relief and still have an impact in the run game and still play to a certain level to help this defense.
Yeah.
Something we've missed, something we haven't had at the edge position in a while, pretty much since Highsmith's rookie year.
Yeah, exactly.
So getting Harrison, man, I mean, he had big shoes to fill in Ohio State when Chase Young and Sam Hubbard and Nick Bosa left and guys like that, right? A lot of crazy production from the edge position from the Buckeyes in previous years. He had the big shoes to fill and did it to a pretty decent job. So getting this guy to fill in a serious need in terms of edge depth, I think will be a great pick in the 4th round.
I think that fits his role pretty well.
Yes. Now, moving to the 7th round, we have 2 7th round picks. In the first pick in the 7th round, the Steelers select Warren McClendon, offensive tackle out of Georgia. We double dip at offensive tackle, and the reason why we do that is because we need a franchise left tackle, but we need depth. Who's our backup offensive tackle right now? I couldn't tell you. Jesse Davis is going to be a free agent. Was it Trent Scott's going to be a free agent, I think? We have no offensive tackle depth.
No.
So God forbid anything happens, who's our depth? No one I can think of right now. We could sign someone for agency, but I'd still like to grab someone for competition, for depth reasons, for training camp bodies. But someone like Warren McClendon, man, he held down right tackle for the number of years in Georgia, pretty much across from Broderick Jones. And you've seen what Georgia's done the last 2 years in college. He's held down that position. He's went up against some premium edge rushers that's had a lot of draft stock and high draft selection in a number of years and still held his ground, man. And the great thing about him is he could be depth initially at right tackle and possibly be competition for, let's say, Chucks comes back and plays that position. He could push him a little bit, but also he could be swing tackle depth, which the Steelers love that versatility, especially in their tackles.
Yeah.
This guy brings that ability.
Yeah, he brings that upside right there as a swing tackle. He's played both positions, primarily a right, but to bring a body in at tackle, an extra guy at tackle, I think it could, do a lot when it comes to depth at tackle because we could surely need it.
This guy brings everything the Steelers love in a backup offensive tackle. He's a swing guy. He has a lot of experience, a very good production in college with a very high school, a big school that's had a lot of success recently, and someone they could build up, someone that could very well be very similar to a Chris Hubbard.
Chris Hubbard or a Kelvin Beachum.
There you go. I like that comparison.
Similar story potentially down the road.
Moving on to the last pick in this mock, the 2nd 7th round pick. The Pittsburgh Steelers select Braden Willis, tight end out of Oklahoma. Yes, we go tight end in the 7th round, and the reason being is because we do not have a blocking tight end.
No. I mean, we have Pat Fryermuth and Connor Hayward, but they're more so vertical threats and receiving tight ends. While Zach Gentry, he's a pending free agent, and he could very well be going.
He could be re-signed as well. We don't know. This is all based on pre-free agency. Or Gentry could be back, and we're looking at our tight end core being very similar to last year, and that's no longer a need. I'm looking at it from a blocking aspect. The Steelers are, whether you like it or not, they are a run-first team. They're run-heavy. They have the 1-2 punch.
Yep.
Hopefully they build the line. They're going to continue to run the rock with Najee and Warren. You still need that blocking ability at tight end. We all love Pat. He's not that along in blocking. Connor Hayward, undersized. Gentry might be gone. We need a blocking guy. Braden Willis might be the best blocking tight end in this entire draft class.
Yeah.
And he's very underrated as a vertical threat, as a receiving threat, which the Steelers could very well use. And this guy is versatile. He can line up at fullback, at H-back, at tight end. You can put him in the slot. You can have so many blocking schemes with this guy that he would succeed as a lead block in any way possible.
Yeah.
The guy is just strong. The guy is vicious. The guy can play lead block, line him up anywhere, and you could still get big gains in the ground game. And again, if you want to use him as a receiving threat, he has that capability. So Braden Willis is one of my late sleepers in the 7th round that I really like. And for a blocking aspect, which we really need, and who knows what Derek Watt, man. I mean, Derek Watt could be gone as well. You could line this guy up at fullback with his size.
You definitely could.
I mean, that's crazy.
It's like you said, he has the versatility. You possibly draft him, bring him in, have him work his way as a third stringer, and have him be that blocking guy that the line could surely use.
Yep.
That Najee could surely use. Jalen Warren could surely use. Upgrade your run game right there and then.
Just bring that blocking tight end ability we haven't had in some time. So,
yeah.
Anyway, guys, that is our mock. Let us know your guys' thoughts down below. Let us know your guys' mocks down below. We will have one more mock out before free agency hits, before the new league year hits next week. Keep an eye out for that. Look forward to that. Otherwise, let us know your guys' thoughts about this mock in the comments. Let us know your guys' mocks in the comments for sure. Check out SteelTwins.com and keep an eye out for episode 2 of the Steeler Culture Podcast coming this Sunday, man. Anyway, let us know your guys' thoughts. See you in the next one.
And like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you later.
Peace!